Roundup of the day's major business news developments. My colleague Siddhant Sibhal joins us now with Finance World.
Well, thanks, Moon. Let's take a look at the top lines of the finance world. Gold regains 30,000 mark, gains 200 rupees on back of positive cues from global markets and fresh buying by jewelers in domestic markets. But silver prices fall by 600 rupees to trade at around 40,500 rupees per kg due to reduced offtake by industrial units and coin makers. RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan says India's core inflation remains sticky and a bit higher than policymakers would like to see. Says India is in midst of slow recovery, though there are signs of faster growth. Indian Railways is all set to conduct trials of its first solar power train in Jodhpur. Solar panels installed on top of the coaches in the train will provide energy for functioning of lights and fans inside the coaches. World's largest cargo aircraft, Antonov An225, make its first landing in India's Rajiv Gandhi International Airport in Hyderabad. It's the biggest airplane in the world. It's also the longest and the heaviest airplane built ever. News from the Lal Street. Sensex loses 301 points to end at 25,490. Nifty closes below the crucial 7,900 levels, falls by 85 points on the last day of the week. And finally, April trade data out. Trade deficit at its lowest level since March 2011 at just $4.84 billion. Exports come out at $21 billion, while imports at $25 billion. Now, news in details. The Supreme Court has asked the centre to release all the outstanding and necessary funds for Narega scheme to states and directed it to pay compensation for delayed wages to farmers in drought-affected areas. Meanwhile, reacting on the court order, Union Rural Development Minister Chaudhry Birendra Singh has said all facts were presented before the apex court.
फैक्ट सारे रखे गए और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने पहली बार ऐसे हुआ कि हमारा जो बजट था 37,000 करोड़ का 2015-16 का और हमने खर्चे 43,000 करोड़, तो ये भी अपने आप में एक रिकॉर्ड है और उसकी अदायगी भी हमने मार्च के फर्स्ट हाफ में कर दी.
Well, for any country to progress economically and socially, skill and knowledge are important tools. Skilled youth are the backbone of a strong economy. India aims to train 50 crore youth by the year 2020 and has launched the Skill India scheme. Here's a report.
India's biggest ever strength is its 65 crore youth population. Skilling this population is the key to using their talent in the true sense of the term. Centre has launched the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana to fulfill this objective. This scheme can prove to be a game changer as it is an effective weapon to fight unemployment and poverty. The scheme has set a target of skilling 1 crore youth within the next 3 years. Skill training under the new scheme will primarily be focused on first-time entrance to the labour market and primarily target Class 10 and Class 12 dropouts. Under the scheme, a monetary reward is given to trainees on assessment and certification by third-party assessment bodies. The average monetary reward would be around 8,000 rupees per trainee. The scheme would be implemented through NSDC training partners. Currently, NSDC has 187 training partners that have over 2,300 centres. In addition, central state government affiliated training providers would also be used for training under the scheme. To give various skill training under a single roof, 1,500 multi-skilled training institutes have been set up across the country. Entrepreneurship, education and training are being provided in 2,200 colleges, 300 schools, 500 government ITIs and 50 vocational training centers through massive open online courses. 100 model career centers have been opened which would give assistance in getting jobs after training. Based on assessment of skill demand and skill gap studies, target for skill training would be allocated to sector skill councils by NSDC in consultation with the SSCs, states, union territories and the central ministries' departments under the oversight of the steering committee of the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Target for skill training would be aligned to the demand from the central government's flagship programs such as Swachh Bharat, Make in India, Digital India, National Solar Mission and so on. India has started skill development in a mission mode. Target is to make India emerge as a global manufacturing hub within the next 3 years. Acquiring necessary skills for employment, these youth can be instrumental in transforming the destiny of our country. Ajay Vikram Singh's report, DD News.
So skilling the youth for a better future. But